Hi everybody, this is Barry Schwartz. This is the Search Buzz video recap. Today is Friday, September 23rd, and we have a lot to discuss today, so let me get right to it. This is basically the news we covered over the Search Engine Roundtable at seroundtable.com over the past week. Just so you guys know, October 3rd I'll be doing a live in-person question and answer session in New York City, and I'll talk about that a little bit later, but if you're in New York City, October 3rd I believe, definitely check it out. Talking about live Q&As, Matt Cutts from Google did a live Q&A session using YouTube Live. It was 45 minutes. He did it at the last moment, and if you missed it, no worries, because we have the whole live Q&A stored and archived, so you actually could watch it thanks to Michael at Google. If you missed, so he basically went through a lot of things, nothing really out there or crazy, so you might want to take a look at it on September 23rd at seroundtable.com. Earlier this week, we thought that Panda had an update, 2.5 we called it. It actually was not an update. Google told us no, there was no update made. But there were a lot of people discussing that they saw some substantial changes to their sites that were apparently hit by Panda. Obviously, there's other things that could be go into account, but Panda 2.5 is not here, so do not worry about it as of yet. I didn't know this. Google counts how Google counts impressions. So in the Google Master Tools. So if you have two listings in Google search results, each of those listings would be counted as an individual impression, so it would be 2 impressions. But if you had site links, let's say you had 7 site links under your main result, that would all be counted as 1 impression. So hopefully that makes sense. Site links don't count as impressions in Google Webmaster Tools, but multiple listings, not site links, but multiple listings count as multiple impressions in Google Webmaster Tools. Bing added a new feature called Adaptive Search. It was announced last week at XMX, and adaptive search is basically using your web history, your search history at Bing over a certain period of time, and using that to try to tailor your results and make them more personalized for you. Bing was using previous search query before, like Google, but now they're using something called adaptive search, which is more detailed, and basically I described it on Search Engine Land, where any content available in an individual search history can be used to personalize the search experience. This is currently limited to the past 28 days if the individual is not signed into Bing, but if they are signed into Bing, it can last for up to 18 months of data. So you might want to take a look at that. There's a video demo of how that works on September 19th. Yahoo has continued to expand their partnership with Bing. They're now moving into the Asian markets where Bing is powering their organic search results. This includes markets such as Hong Kong, Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore, Taiwan, Thailand, and Vietnam, but it excludes Korea. They also moved out into Greece, Poland, Romania, Switzerland, and Turkey. I don't think this is done on the paid side yet. There are some issues with the paid search stuff in terms of how much money it's making for Yahoo, but I guess we'll learn more about that later. Google AdWords is testing yet again a new lead capture form. This was done back in, I believe, January 2010, where they were doing some type of expansion lead capture form, but I'll include an image in here. And now they're testing another type of capture form, which is basically email address and name in the actual AdWords form. So it's pretty cool to see. I think it's a CPA model, but I'm not exactly sure. On the AdSense display side, Google says that the +1 button will now influence the ads in the AdSense display. And Google specifically said, let me read this to you, the +1s will be one additional signal that help determine an ad's relevance. So obviously if your friends +1 stuff, cool, but also you'll see now a +1 in the future. This comes in October. A +1 button on the Google AdSense ads, display ads. When you +1 it, your friends will actually see you +1'd it, and on the ad itself, and I'll show a screenshot so you actually see how it looks. It's pretty interesting, but it definitely is going to be used as a signal for AdSense ads and display ads in Google. Talking about AdSense, there's a bug for some people where it's showing that the next payment is on hold. Google is aware of this. Chris from Google said, some of you may be seeing an alert on your homepage that your payments are on hold. I believe that there was an error on our side that has caused this message to surface for a number of publishers. I apologize for the inconvenience, working on fixing this issue, blah, 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 blah. There's no ETA for the fix, but if you do see a payment on hold, I wouldn't worry too much because Google is aware of it. Those of you who use Google product search and get a lot of traffic from there, I hope by now you have updated your Google product feeds because of, I think 2 days ago, or maybe yesterday, September 22nd, yesterday, that Google has went ahead and implemented the changes. So you had to make certain changes with your product feeds. And if you do not know what those changes are, you definitely have to take a look at our post on September 20th, which had more links about what you had to change and how you make those changes. Because Google is now requiring more changes to your Google product data feeds. Google this week opened up Google Plus, added some bunch of more features, but they opened up Google Plus for pretty much everybody except for Google Apps users. Supposedly Google Apps users will get it soon. But the way they did this was they actually did a huge promotion on the Google homepage with a big blue arrow that went like this and up into the sky saying, sign up for Google Plus. It was one of the biggest promotions I've seen on Google's homepage ever for their own products. It was pretty significant. But other features that they launched outside of opening up is Google Plus Search, which is pretty cool to have. Hangouts on your phone, Android, iPhone coming soon. Hangouts on the air, like live broadcasts, which are actually limited testing right now. Hangouts with screen sharing, Sketchpad, Google Docs, and named Hangouts, which is basically a collaboration tool. Obviously, like I said, Search in Google Plus. And also, they opened it up to all, like I said. So if you want Google Plus, it's all available. Just go to Google Plus and you got it. Google had to go to a Senate antitrust hearing this week. Eric Schmidt, former CEO of Google, was the first witness who was called. I think he did a great job. He answered lots of good questions. Then Yelp, Nextag, and others were in the second batch of things, and they were all saying how Google went ahead and has this monopolistic and anti-competitive nature. Ultimately, I do believe Google will be investigated deeply on this, and I don't think Google has a problem with that. I think Google expects it, and I don't think they're too worried about it, except for obviously all the costs involved in that. They just do not want to be obviously associated as a monopoly that's doing anti-competitive actions. I'm not too versed on exactly all these legal aspects, political aspects, but my favorite tweet was from Brett Tapke of Webmaster World, who said, Google, you sent the wrong guy. Obviously, you shouldn't have sent Eric Schmidt. He said you should have sent cuts. He would have had them, meaning the Senate people, buying AdWords for their re-election before it was even over. Pretty interesting. Take a look at that if you are interested in the whole Senate hearing on Google. Facebook launched a major change this week, or yesterday. They call it Timeline. It basically shows you a timeline of your life. Again, I don't use Facebook so much. People are really into it, but some people find it very, very creepy. It basically shows you a timeline of how things have affected you over the past course of stuff you uploaded to Facebook, and obviously you can always fill in those blanks if you wanted to. Bing has a really cool homepage today. They actually have their HTML5 video homepage. So now the homepage, if you go there and using HTML5 browser, the homepage is a video of the changing seasons into fall. Because today is the first day of fall. We also have a theme. Google, Yahoo, and Bing and Dogpile do not, but Bing's has pretty much a video showing the time change at a national park in Grand Teton. So take a look at that. Just go to Bing.com. Like I said earlier in this video, we're trying to do this live Q&A event. We're charging $50. It's going to be in New York City at the Center for Arts of Education Annex. We're charging, like I said, $50. If you want to go, great. We'll see if it happens. I'll be doing basically a live Q&A, asking any of your questions, answering any of your questions live for about an hour and a half or so. Plus, we're going to have Rank Above come, who has this really sweet software, and they're going to be doing some, not demos, but more of like site analysis on your website using their cool tool. If you're in the New York City area, definitely recommend you checking it out. October 3rd, sign up. And we'll see how it goes. So that pretty much covers the Search Buzz video recap. My name again is Barry Schwartz. This is the news we covered over at the Search Engine Roundtable at SEOroundtable.com. Thanks so much for listening, and see you guys next week. Everyone have a great weekend. Bye.